Okay, guys and girls, we are going to talk about square roots and evaluating expressions with square roots. So one of the first things I wanted to cover was square roots. If you see the radical sign, that is the radical sign, and underneath it will be what we call the radicand. And in this case, we'll make it 81, which is a perfect square. Okay, sometimes you may see these negative outside. Okay, that's minus square root 81. Well, I square this as an 81. The square root of 81 means that you need to find a number that multiplied by itself will give you 81. And I know that to be 9. So that tells me that 9 squared is equal to 81. Okay? So from there, I know that it has to be negative 9. Because what happened here is I have the negative outside. And you're basically multiplying a negative 1 that's outside of that radical sign, and you're applying it to the radicand after you've squared it. As we remember with PEMDAS, it's parentheses and exponents. So squaring is like exponents, just like I was talking about with here. Okay? All right. So I want to show you a couple of expressions, and we'll go through a few. One of the other things I really want to quick show you is if you see this plus or minus outside the radical sign, and the radicand is 81, you're going to have negative 9 and positive 9 as your answers. Okay? If you just see a radical sign and it just says 81, you may see the thing, what are the two answers for a square root? And again, you would get negative 9 and positive 9. Okay? However, if you see something like this, and it does not ask you for the two answers, it's just going to be 9, positive 9. Okay? So let's start evaluating some expressions that have square roots in them. All right. One of the first ones I can show you is this one. So it's 2, radical sign, radicand 144 minus 30. Okay. So the first thing I do, and think about this, what operations are in this problem? Well, my first operation is going to be take the square root because it's an exponent. There's no parentheses, but I have an exponent or square root, so that's my first. At that point, I'm going to multiply. That's the M, right? Multiply division from left to right. And then the last piece of it is subtraction. Okay, and that's right here. All right, so let's go through those steps. Okay, and go back here. And we have 2, radical sign 144 minus 30. All right, so my first step is to square, right? So I know the square root of 144 is 12. So now this becomes 2 times 12 minus 30. Okay, 2 times 12 equals 24. Okay, I subtract 30. Okay, or now it's 24 minus 30. And I know that that equals negative 6. Okay, so just remember, if there's no parentheses, your first step is going to be the exponent aspect, which is the square root. And that's where the expression. I'll give you a little bit more difficult of one. All right, let's move this up. Another example is we have radical sign 36 over 4 plus 1/6. Okay, again, my first step is to get the square. Okay, after that, I'm going to be utilizing addition. Okay, and that would be this aspect. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, well, the square root of 36 over 4. So I'm going to find the square root of 36, which is 6, and the square root of 4 is 2. This is now plus 1/6. I know I can reduce 6 halves to 3 plus 1/6. Okay, and that is going to equal 3 and 1/6. So just don't be afraid of it. Just go ahead and do the square root first. I know it looks really kind of kooky, but just do the square root first. You'll start getting into numbers that are more comfortable, and you just evaluate expression by just reducing it. Okay? Did want to show you one more. All right, and this one's kind of, you're going to see this a lot on tests because they like to try to throw you, okay? And in this situation, we have 49 minus parentheses, radical sign, radicand 49, and to the power of 2. That's the exponents. Okay, so what I can do is I can go 49. Now I'm inside my parentheses, so I'm going to square root this, which is going to become 7. Okay, and that's going to be an exponent of 2. Okay, so that means I'm just going to multiply 7 by 7 again. So I'm going to get 49 minus 49. It's going to equal 0. Okay, so one of the quickest ways we can right here is this offsets each other. If you have an exponent with a square root inside, it's the number. It just kind of falls out there to be 49. All right, you'll see that a lot. You can save yourself some steps by going ahead and just pulling the number out. Okay, because like I said, you're square rooting it, but then you're now multiplying it and squaring it. It's back to 49. All right. Go ahead, take a look at the notes today, and then tomorrow you'll do some exercises.